Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, February 6, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to Catex TV. Both Aon Benfield and Marsh McLennan announced their quarterly results, and they look pretty good. We're still going through them now, but Aon Benfield in particular says they had a very good quarter. We'll scratch the surface and actually look a little bit under the numbers and see what it actually all means. U.S. employers hired at a pretty good pace last month. Wages rose by the most in 6 years, and Americans responded by streaming back into the job market looking for work. At 8:30 this morning, the Labor Department said that the economy had gained a seasonally adjusted 257,000 jobs in January, more than expected. It also revised the estimates for November and December. Businesses added 414,000 jobs back in November. And total job gains in December were raised from 252,000 up to 329,000. Hourly wages jumped about 12 cents an hour up to $24.75, the biggest gain since 2008. The unemployment rate rose 0.1% from 5.6 to 5.7%. But this is apparently because more Americans are feeling encouraged about the workplace and have begun to come back into the labor market. Job gains have now averaged 336,000 for the last 3 months, the best 3-month pace in 17 years. More information is coming out about the TransAsia Crash in Taipei. The ATR 72 twin-engine turboprop crashed. Of course, one of the engines on that flight went idle. It did not flame out, it went idle shortly after takeoff. The pilots then, with the idle engine, proceeded to shut off the other engine, the engine that was actually producing thrust. This is according to the Aviation Safety Council in Taiwan. Within a minute of takeoff, the plane's right engine triggered an alarm indicating that it had gone idle. It did not flame out, it did not explode, there were no flames, it just simply went into idle mode. There was no change in the oil pressure. The other engine, the left engine, which was the only engine producing power on the twin-engine plane, was functioning normally. According to the manufacturer of the plane and any other air safety expert caring to be quoted, the ATR twin-engine turboprop is designed to fly on one engine. The pilots then proceeded to shut down the left engine, which was the only engine producing power. It takes about 45 seconds for an ATR 72 after both engines are shut off in order to restart the engine in mid-flight. The plane crashed 30 seconds later. This will really come out as a pilot error problem, I can guarantee that. In an interview, actually in a speech yesterday to the AIRMIC Insurance Group, Association of Insurance Risk Managers in London, the CEO of RSA, Stephen Hester, said that insurers have given away an important part of their value chain by allowing brokers to play a role in the market. And he said this has happened because insurers' services to customers aren't good enough. He said it's sad that insurance carriers allowed space for brokers, and they have paid the price by ceding an important part of the value chain. He did add that some top brokers are leading the way in modern standards and have justified their role in the value chain. He said that RSA hires some of them to do sophisticated jobs, giving the example of CAT modeling. But he noted that the intermediation model used, with the brokers bridging a gap, is now unusual in the modern world and is relatively old-fashioned. The cyber attack on Anthem, one of the U.S.'s largest healthcare insurers, apparently may have originated in China. That's hardly a news bulletin. This was one of the worst attacks ever. About 80 million records were gained access to. According to people in the hacking industry, they note that the Chinese hacking groups have shown an interest in going after healthcare companies. A consultant who requested anonymity said that there were suspicions that the hackers might have been working with the backing of a foreign government. The hackers are thought to have infiltrated Anthem's networks by using a sophisticated malicious software program that gave them access to the login credentials of an Anthem employee. Anthem officials became aware of the breach when one of their senior administrators noticed someone was using his identity to request information from the database. Dozens of Jordanian fighter jets have been bombing Islamic State training centers over the past 18 hours, blowing up weapons storage sites as well as any military installation they can find. This is part of the new campaign in retaliation for the incineration execution of the downed Jordanian pilot. The Jordanian government information minister said, "We said we are going to take this all the way to them. We are going to go after them wherever they are, and we're doing that." U.S. F-16 and F-22 fighter jets provided security to the Jordanian fighter planes with additional support from surveillance aircraft and American mid-air refueling tankers. If you've ever seen the movie Contagion with Dustin Hoffman, Donald Sutherland, and Rene Russo, you'll know that it starts with the dropping of a barrel bomb from a plane on an African village that has been infected with an unknown virus. Well, yesterday, Syrian army helicopters dropped 2 barrel bombs on a crowded square in the northern city of Aleppo, killing at least 25 civilians. The civilians were in a central square as they waited to collect water from a public tanker. Activists are saying that as many as 47, in fact, were killed. On Thursday, the Indian Coast Guard rescued all 11 crew members of a cargo ship bound for the Maldives as it started sinking off the southern tip of India. The Moldavian ship, the MV Minath, was about 7 miles off coast, heading toward the Maldives, when in fact it began to sink. 2 leaks in the bottom of the ship were beginning to flood. The ship sent out a mayday. Indian Coast Guardsmen boarded the ship, rescued the crew, and plugged the leaks, and were able to tow the ship back safely to the port of Vizinjam. An earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 5.0 hit the western Japanese island of Shikoku this morning. No tsunami warning was issued. There were no immediate reports of damage or injuries. However, it did in fact contribute to some shaking, rattling, and rolling. London was very interesting. It was quite cold. There was snow there, nothing like New Jersey though, or the Northeast or the Midwest in the United States. But it's very good to be home. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching and have a good weekend.